Good morning and welcome to a Father's Day sunrise prayer. I'm out here at the beautiful Lake Jackson. It is 6 o'clock this morning and the sun is rising up again, and what a blessing to have another day and another opportunity not only to serve God but to be with our families and to do better. I never prepared to come out and do these sunrise prayer videos because I don't want to get myself in the way of the word that God wants put out, and in that sense He's able to touch the hearts of people and not me, because I can't save anybody. I can't encourage, and so that's one of the things that continues to drive me to do all the things that I do. And this will be my second Sunday sunrise prayer in a row in quite a while. And as I get back to the roots of where He had me over 5.5, almost 6 years ago, I find myself blessed to still have that relationship with Him, where I look to Him for guidance and I follow Him rather than try to steer this ship, And in doing so, this is a wonderful Father's Day for me, in the sense that I have two stepdaughters. They happen to be with two different ladies that will accompany me to a Father's Day breakfast that I've been invited to be a pastor's guest. And there's a sense of, pressure there for me, especially for these young ladies, to show them that love of God, and to see, they haven't been to this church with me, and and for them to see some of what God does in my life, and the reason why I continue to do the things that I do. We had some devastating storms here in Tallahassee. We were fortunate that a lot of lives weren't lost, but a lot of homes and properties were damaged, and people were without power for several weeks at a time. And when you lose power like that, there's the chance to have food, and to get fresh water, and to be able to wash dishes and wash clothes, and just having to go to work still, and just all of the devastation that comes with it. But this past time, God provided us with some relief efforts, and one of the ministries in northern U.S. Sent us a truck full of supplies, and we were able to distribute to 932 families in the little unincorporated town of Woodville. And then we had some stuff that we gave to another ministry that took it down into Wakulla County. I'm not sure that there was a whole lot of damage down there in Wakulla County, but we had gotten to a point, for one, where we didn't have the room to store it. And in the ministry that I do, the ministry part of what I do, I don't have a lot of people supporting me financially to help with these efforts. So I take out of what God provides for me and what I make, and I give back to Him for His service and to love on His people, His children. So we sent it with another ministry, and I just pray that that ministry will give it to people that are in need, not profit from it, but do the right thing. And so I don't know what they're doing, and I'm not looking. My focus is on God and the mission, and no matter what anybody does with a blessing you give them, they will account to God for what they do with those blessings. So it takes me back to when I'm on the side of the road, or see somebody on the side of the road, and I might give them, a few dollars, $10, $20, and people are riding with me, and they're like, well, they're just going to go over there and buy a beer, man. And that wasn't what my blessing was about, what they were going to do with it. My blessing was the fact that I was moved to do so. I did it without remorse. I did it cheerfully. I'm not questioning it, and I thank God that I was able to do it. And then what they do with the blessing is on them. Jesus shared a message with us all of these years back, and then He left this earth and left us with the message and with a calling. And He had His disciples to go out and said, spread the word, spread the gospel, and go 2 by 2. And so that's what we do, and that's what we're required to do, is to go out and share that message. And so Jesus isn't physically here on this world to touch and heal and do all these things to people, but that prayer that He opened up with us to be able to speak directly to God gives us an opportunity to experience the love of our Father, and it all came through the bloodshed of Jesus Christ. And so that's the part that we have to get really, really sound in our mind and in our hearts, that what we do and what people do with what we do is not what our concern is, but because we did what we did, and because we did it for God, and we did it out of love, and we're doing it to share the gospel, then that seed that's planted will germinate well, because God's going to put it on the fertile grounds, or He's going to till those grounds. And I wasn't perfect, and I never claimed to be perfect. Even now I make mistakes. I do things that probably I shouldn't do. I have impure thoughts like any other normal human being, but at the end of the day, I find myself asking God, God, why do I do these things? And then it takes you right back to the Bible when Paul was, struggling with whatever that thorn was in his side, and God told him, "Is my grace not sufficient?" He doesn't expect us to be perfect, but He expects us to stay in commune with Him. And sometimes we're not like Jesus. We're not that part of that triune God. We are created in His image, and so there's a possibility for us to do things with a pure heart, and and that's what God wants us to do. And He wants us to stay in commune with Him daily and let Him lead us, so that He can guide us to where it is we're supposed to be. And that's the rewarded part of it, is that He gives us another day with another opportunity. And it's not easy to walk a Christian life. It's not easy to serve God, and there's a lot of the storms that you're going to go through. And but I look at the past storms that I've been through, and I look at where I'm at today, and I've seen myself come through those storms. I'm okay. I made it through the next one. So I didn't create that permanent solution to a temporary problem, per se, like my young brother Mark did. Mark hung himself some 4 years ago, and he was a young man. He was in his 20s, and he was less than 30 days out of prison, and it was just too much for him, and so he chose the other side of that. That was a struggle for me, emotionally, spiritually, and definitely personally. But I took lessons from it, and I continued to move forward. And then I watched somebody who, got caught up in chasing the world again, and went off into a situation that he shouldn't have been in. I tried to ask him not to, and I tried to give him a place to go and give him some guidance. And ultimately, these people that you're guiding have to make their decision. Ultimately, my brother Andrew passed away at 50 years old about 3 years ago, overdosed on drugs, and was found alone and unresponsive in a hotel room. I still, from time to time, have contact with friends of his from the past that are just now finding out that he lost his life, and I'm able to give them some comfort in that he did know God, and they knew that he was a praying man, but he struggled with a demon that he couldn't overcome, and so he succumbed to it, and that again in itself left me questioning my service to God and questioning the ministry that I do. And so that was two different scenarios that I had to deal with. And, so many people deal with those things every day. And, I get what people see about religion and, the churches, and, I kind of feel like they're country clubs. So when I go, I tend to walk in with this whole perception of myself looking like I'm walking into a country club, and where people just need to feel good, and they just need to hear some good and positive stuff. And that's okay, because Jesus went to the tabernacles and stuff, and he visited, and he spoke, but he wasn't there every day. Jesus went out and he roamed about. He left the town that he was from, because where he was from, they would be unable to receive him in the fact of, well, isn't that the carpenter's son? So, sometimes we're not able to minister to our family, and we have to minister about. And Jesus, he did that. He knew that part of it. And, at 12 years old, when he was left behind or stayed behind, and when his mother Mary went back and they found him, and he was sitting amongst the doctors and the attorneys and the elites and ministering to them, and told her, I'm about my Father's work. I've sat in prison for 5.5 years, and I talked to a bunch of young men. One thing that I do know is that God was able to use a lot of these young people because they haven't been distorted in the ways of the world and what have you. But today, with the internet and YouTube, and we're living in a world of, let's just get it right now. It's tough because they are experiencing things that we didn't experience at the age that we were when we were their age. Okay, so we have experiences that they don't have, and so that puts us in a sort of an advantage, but again, it puts them at a disadvantage. So it's a difficult thing to watch these young kids come up in this world. And my hope is always that